The young boys are so vulnerable to this because there's a period of time in their life, you know, when they like boys. I mean, they don't like girls. They want to stay with boys. And if you bring in the homosexual agenda into that educational type of system, the homosexuals are going to just say, well, of course you don't like girls. Well, you're one of us. And it is a serious, serious matter. I mean, people don't realize that we're going to lose thousands and thousands and thousands of good heterosexuals to the homosexual revolution.
Gail Goodman, a professional counselor and former executive director of Out Youth Austin, has worked with young adults for over 20 years as a teacher, church youth leader, and counselor.
Ms. Goodman, have you heard the prosecution's charges?
Yes, I have.
Are you prepared to respond to those charges?
Yes, I am.
Please do.
Thank you. Regardless of what we believe, our backgrounds, where we come from, all of us agree that schools should be a safe place for our youth, a place where they can grow and learn and become who they are. Unfortunately for our gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender youth, that is not the case.
My teacher brought up something she'd heard on the news that morning. Just, should gays and lesbians be able to adopt children? And suddenly all these people that I thought were just like me, they start saying, oh, God, no, God, you know, those people are sick. I've never known a queer person. If one of those people were in my classroom, I don't know what I'd do.
I was sitting at my desk doing my work and noticed that there was 3 kids standing up at the desk with the teacher and looking at a magazine. It was a sports magazine. And one of the students decided to say, oh, that guy in there, that picture looks pretty gay. And the teacher behind the desk said, yeah, he does look like a faggot, doesn't he? And they all kind of snickered and laughed about it. And it was at that point right there, they weren't just talking about the person in the magazine, they were talking about me, right in front of me.
Every day, youth hear anti-gay remarks 20 to 25 times. In 97% of these instances, teachers do not intervene. So every day, youth like Sarah and Jason sit in classrooms where they are trying to learn and feel good about themselves, and they hear remarks against who they are, and it hurts them. I want to tell you a story. I taught for 8 years, and then I was a counselor. And one day, I had a youth call me from a small town, and he said that he had gone to a school counselor because he really didn't know who else to go to. And then he had gone to her and said, I think I'm gay, and I don't know what to do about that. I don't feel like I can tell anybody, and I know a school counselor is a person that you're supposed to feel safe with, and so I'm here to talk. And she said to him, it's not okay to be gay, and that's not something you can be. So he walked away from that meeting realizing the last person he had to talk to was not going to be there for him. But to make matters worse, that school counselor told his mom that he had been to see her and what he had said. And that day, he went home after school, was confronted by his parents, told we are not going to have any gay kids in this family, and his dad went outside and beat him up. This young man calls me the next day and says, I don't know what to do. I feel like I just want to die. I don't have anybody to talk to. Thankfully, there's a good ending to that story in that he was able to locate a PFLAG chapter who was able to find a place for him to live and finish high school. But that's not always the case. Gay youth are at least 3 times more likely to commit suicide than their heterosexual peers. That's very scary. What these kids really need is support, acceptance, and what we want for all of our kids, to be able to grow up, feel good about themselves, go to school, and become productive members of society. And that's what I would want you to know today, and that's my answer to these charges.
Thank you, Ms. Goodman. You may step down.
Thank you.
The prosecution may now put on evidence of its next charge.